They will allow you to be hands-off and only have to work 5 hours a week. In the United States right now, there are 76 million baby boomers. The number one dilemma for these baby boomers? Housing. That dilemma can be your opportunity. Welcome to the Assisted Living Network podcast, where you can discover how just one residential assisted living home could secure your financial future forever. Hey, it's Isabelle from the Assisted Living Network. Want to know the 2 big secrets to being hands-off and still cash flowing in the REL business? It's systems and having a licensed administrator. Let's dive in. Your manager or administrator, as we often call them interchangeably, their daily duties are going to look very different than your daily duties as an owner-operator. Systems are going to allow you to scale. They will allow you to be hands-off and only have to work 5 hours a week, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But the reality is, if you're not there every day or working in the business, someone still has to be. So when I say this is a hands-off business, people freak out and they say, no, it's not. No, it's not. And it's because they are the administrator. They're working hands-on within the business, and that is a choice. Life, there are always choices. You as the owner get a choice as to what you do and do not want to do. I highly suggest you do not build yourself a job. Your daily duties are going to be very different than your licensed administrators. They could be in charge of many things, like overseeing the hiring, firing, onboarding, and scheduling of your caregivers. So when someone no-shows, they fill it in with someone else or they do it themselves, not you. Listen, if there's a schedule change or someone is not a fit, not my problem, it's theirs. They are in charge of staffing in general. Tours with the families, they may be in charge of that. You can give them a training on this. If it's a weakness, we have a course, Fill Your Home Fast, that you can check out and get your administrator registered for so that they do incredible when it comes to the tours and getting those families to move into the home. But if that's not your skill set, if you don't want to have to be at the home to do those tours, to entice those families to move in and have those interactions, then you need to put it on the administrator's plate. Marketing. This is another big one. They're going to need to build relationships with geriatric doctors and nurses, placement agents, local churches, synagogues, temples, other RAL care home or facility owners or managers. Those relationships are going to be so important and really help you fill your beds and maintain a positive reputation within the industry. I'll also say that they're going to be in charge of daily life within the home. As contractors are coming and going, maybe entertainment, maybe visiting doctors, maybe chefs or visitors, state inspectors, handymen, landscapers, lawn guys, pool guys, bug guys or gals, grocery shopping, supply shopping, you name it, the administrator is in charge of it. Scheduling all these people, paying them, making sure that they show up and do their job, that's all on them. They also may be in charge of getting, groceries or decorating for the holidays, hosting parties or events within the home, and of course, abiding by the policies and procedures. So you need to ask yourself, how much of this do you want them doing, and what do you want to do? What are your natural skills and abilities, and what do you enjoy doing? If they can do all those things I just named, they're a unicorn. I'm joking, but you get it. It's going to be rare. Don't expect it all, but pick and choose what you do want to do. And if you don't want to do anything, okay, well, what can an assistant administrator do? And they need to match up their skills or weaknesses with each other. Reality check. This will cost you. It will cost you to hire this person and become hands-off. But what is your time worth? What is your freedom worth? I'd rather make less on my home and be hands-off and be able to open more homes because of this strategic hire. But everyone has their own preferences, so you need to know yourself. Are you getting into this business to be in the business, to be working in the home every day? Okay, cool. If not, take the hit. Hire the right person and invest in them. Pay them well. Some tips for hiring an incredible administrator. I make everyone in our businesses take the PI or Predictive Index Test. This is an incredible test that we offer to our Platinum Inner Circle students when they're hiring their administrators and caregivers. When you take the test, it shows you who you are naturally, your God-given gifts, skills, and abilities. Then it shows you what you personally feel is required of you at this job. Then lastly, it shows you how you're coming off at this job. And really, whenever I meet someone who they hate their job, they're like counting down till Friday. They're like the slams laptop on Friday person, okay? When I look at their PI, they're who they are naturally versus what the role they think the role requires of them. They're a total mismatch. They're completely different. And of course, if you're not working in your God-given skills and abilities, you're not going to be happy. And so this makes a whole lot of sense, right? We have people who are working outside of what they're gifted to do, and so they're not going to want to do that job. But when those two match, this person has a lot of longevity. They feel a lot of fulfillment. They're happy and pleased to work for you and show up every day and work overtime and do whatever is needed because they love this. It's fulfilling to them, and it's fulfilling in a different way. It hits a different chord within their heart. And so the predictive index, you guys, I can't rave about it enough, right? I need to get an affiliate link because they're amazing. But that's one incredible thing that I like to do when I'm hiring people is have them take that test and see if they're a good fit for not only the role, but also working with me. And there's a whole bunch of amazing tools that you can use with that. So we'll talk about that more in another episode, I'm sure. The next one that I would consider is calling past jobs. You don't want to hire somebody without hearing how they've done before at other jobs. And if this is a brand new caregiver or administrator, you're going to want to know, maybe some of their background and experience. So you do want to call their references. This is important because if they were let go for some nefarious reason, you're going to want to know that. So definitely call their references and check on their past jobs. Get the scoop. Bring them into the fold. This may take trial and error, but it will take time to get them to be who you want and need them to be. So be patient with them, but always be slow to hire and quick to fire. The reality is you can do most of these things and save yourself money, but you're probably not getting into this industry to build yourself a job. You're looking for financial freedom and time freedom. And if you set this up properly, you can have both. So don't get caught up thinking, well, let me start doing this role and then I'll pass it to someone else. No, you won't. I've seen it time and time again. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, you're exhausted and you want to sell the business, but you didn't even need to do the job in the first place. Run the numbers. And yes, it has to make sense, but also don't think like this is a huge salaried person who works at the big boxes. It's probably a $60,000 to $75,000 a year type of job to oversee 1 or 2 homes or somewhere between, 10 and 30 residents. And so that's important to note. You can definitely afford this if you run the numbers correctly. If you want to learn more, check out RAL 101 and get started with us today. Don't forget to like and share this episode and follow us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening to the Assisted Living Network.